Well, hello, friends. I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about this fight I've been in for the last 9 months. I wouldn't call myself an activist by any stretch. I'm pretty conservative and have never wanted to be a conspiracy theorist or anything else like that. One thing I am is a realist, and one thing that I appreciate is truth. So when I find something out that's going on above my head, basically, that disturbs me, I'm going to investigate. And not that I ever thought that airplane contrails were anything sinister. I thought they were totally normal. I had no reason to suspect anything was amiss. But as is my habit, I like to watch the mainstream media and see what their take is on what's going on, because through the years I've realized that they lie. They lie to us all the time. That's their job, to create a story. In fact, one of the primary things that I watch is the Today Show, and it's called a show. So, take it for what it is. When you call yourself a show, you're a show. You're entertainment. You're Hollywood. So, again, each morning I would watch and see their take on current events, and this winter, Al Roker kept talking about the Polar Vortex. Polar Vortex. And I have been a big weather fan my entire life. I've never heard of this Polar Vortex. This is something that is an anomaly, I guess. I mean, what's the Polar Vortex? I was so weird about the weather when I was younger that I kept track of the daily low, the daily high, the humidity, the barometric pressure for an entire year. I was kind of a nerd about the weather. And that probably stems from my grandfather taking me through Topeka, Kansas in the mid-'60s or late 60s, I guess, to show me the devastation after a tornado. My mom said I was scared of the wind for the next 5 years. So I've had a keen interest in the weather. And when Roker said Polar Vortex, I'm like, what is he talking about? So I began my quest. I began to do some research and homework. These people lie. Like I said, they lie. So I want to find the truth. So here I go, going through my internet scrolls and searches, and I come across HAARP, High Altitude Auroral Research Project. I get those letters confused, sorry. But it's in Alaska. And this is a Tesla technology, a way of transmitting energy through space or through the atmosphere, electricity, which is bizarre, and I don't understand the science, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I understand the science. But what I do know from the guy that produced the HAARP facility in Gacon, Alaska, or helped, construct or design it, Edmondson, I think is his name, that this facility heats the upper atmosphere. Like, why would you heat the upper atmosphere? Why? I mean, is there any common logical explanation to do that? Well, since then, through my research, I will tell you that the United States Air Force went before Congress, a congressional committee, about this facility, HAARP facility, and they said, it's been our goal to manage the ionosphere and control it. And that's what we've done. So mission accomplished. Okay, so you're controlling the ionosphere? What does that mean? Managing the ionosphere. Well, I mean, the ionosphere is very high up, okay? It's got very little oxygen, apparently. But when you heat something, heat rises. And when you create heat, other elements in the atmosphere might fall or be pushed or manipulated. So that's what HAARP does. It ends up manipulating the jet stream. Hence, the polar vortex. So if you can manipulate the upper air and push wind systems, jet streams around, you're going to affect weather. So the whole idea of anybody other than God controlling weather blew my mind. How can these people actually control the upper atmosphere, jet streams, etc.? Well, of course, then chemtrails, climate engineering, geoengineering, all of this started to become part of my everyday vernacular because my paradigm had shifted. My world was upended. Everything I thought was natural and real became man-made. Well, is it all man-made? No. I mean, it can't all be man-made, but it can be messed with and toyed with. And this thing about geoengineering, you know, these scientists, Mount Pinatubo erupts, 1991. There's this fear of global warming. From where that came from, I do not know. CO2 emissions, yes, they might have a tendency to warm the globe to a degree or two, fine, you know, whatever. But for these scientists, they had the cure. Let's just emulate Mount Pinatubo, because after that eruption, the globe cooled by a couple of degrees centigrade. So if we just put a whole bunch of volcanic ash in the atmosphere, we too can cool the globe. And we'll be heroes. You know, call me a hero. I have cooled the globe by putting a bunch of crap in the atmosphere. Well, that's what these guys decided was a good idea. And they've been deciding this and having symposiums and lectures and yakking about it for 20 years plus. One of the guys' name's David Keith. Another one is Ken Caldera. Their almighty mission in life is to put a bunch of crap in the upper atmosphere and cool the globe to offset the effects of global warming, so-called. It's interesting though, isn't it? If they've actually done this, as opposed to it being proposed, and they have put these elements in the atmosphere and they have cooled the globe, that would disrupt the climate. Climate disruption, climate change. Interesting. Okay, so what is the agenda? If you can manipulate the upper atmosphere and jet stream, if you can cool the globe by throwing a bunch of particulates up there, what's the agenda? What's the end game? Okay, so this has been my focus. Okay, let me back up a minute. Say these are normal airplanes with normal contrails. You can watch these, and it's not that hard, and they expand, and they become cirrus clouds. Big, bad cirrus clouds that cover the sky. It can be a normal, clear day, and by the end of the day, it's cloudy. Okay, would clouds have formed naturally, like cumulus clouds like we have today? Would they, let me see if I can get this to, would they turn into that? Normal evaporation, condensation, etc.? I don't know. But what does happen is these cirrus form at these high altitudes. Supposedly, condensation trails don't even happen until 30,000 feet up in the sky. So, the condensation creates cirrus. Well, that jacks with the normal process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, because the sun is dimmed or blocked. You need to have the sun to start the entire process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation. If planes are causing massive cirrus clouds to cover the sky, it disrupts that. Once again, climate disruption. Okay? So, the president has this intergovernmental panel on climate change, and their whole goal is to mitigate climate change. Mitigate. Most people in their minds think mitigate climate change means, well, we got to cool the planet. We need to do something to cool this place because we're burning it up with all our carbon emissions. Okay, so they are causing the climate change, and now they have the solution for the climate change. You see what I'm getting at here? This is Saul Alinsky. Saul Alinsky has this combative mindset to gain power. In other words, you create a problem and then you come up with a solution. So you're an agitator, you create problems, and then you're a community organizer and you have a fix to the problems. So you become very powerful because everybody loves you because you fixed their problem. The problem that they didn't even know they had, or the problem that you created. But you're the savior and you've fixed it. So we'll crown you king now, and you can just do your own thing. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's the reverse universe, the twisted twilight zone that we're in. What are we going to do about it? I mean, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. And if you're still stuck on the contrail thing right now, you're thinking, this guy and his contrails, geoengineering, HARP, weather modification, he's cuckoo nuts, whatever. Okay, just do your own homework. Just do it. I'm serious. I'm tired of arguing or having these conversations. You have to sit down and study the topic. Okay? That's it. I mean, do the homework. You know, the 9/11 thing, the towers, building number 7, that's another good topic to investigate as well. What's that elementary school in Sandy Hook, Connecticut? That's another one. Pretty strange stuff about that event. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to be this person. I never, ever was this person. I'm a conservative, hardworking guy. For years, just raising my family, paying my taxes, doing my thing. I don't want anybody to fool with me, and I'm not going to fool with anybody else. But you mess with my planet and my ability to make a living and my kids' ability to have a family and do their thing, I'm pissed. And I'm going to do homework, and I'm going to find out what's going on. And if you don't do the homework, and you want to go along with your cognitive dissonance and just ignore it all and think happy thoughts, then that's fine. Think happy thoughts and just, go down the toilet someday, because it's all happened to you. So anyway, just think about these things. I just had to share, and God bless. I am a Christian man. I love the Lord, and I know He's in control ultimately. But He doesn't ask us to just sit around and let stuff happen. It's in God's hands. It's God's will. Well, the old saying my old pastor used to say is, pray like it's all up to God, but work like it's all up to you. So that's all I'm asking you to do. Work like it's up to you. You can make a difference. We all can make a difference, but we have to be informed. And the media, not going to happen. You got to do your own homework, your own legwork. All right? So God bless y'all. Take care.